This little thing, I don't know, I don't think you can really tell, but it hangs on the back of this door. This is a door, it closes. And this is just a little hanger thing that I found at the hardware store. We didn't have lots of great storage solutions in this house when we bought it. Okay, so what I keep here, I keep a lot of canned beans, and that's what I buy. Every time I go to the store, I just like pick up like 1 or 2 canned beans, and I pick up 1 or 2 canned tomatoes, and I also keep some stock broth and box broth and stock in there, because I know I'm always going to use those. So like those make up, like those are oftentimes the foundation elements of a meal that I make. My husband's a vegetarian, so that's why we keep a lot of beans. They're a great source of carbs and proteins for us. And so what you can do with beans are lots of things. So you can put them into soups, you can throw them into curries, you can, rinse them, drain and rinse them, roast them and get them nice and toasty, put some spices on them to add a lot of flavor. They become a great snack, or you can throw them into a grain bowl. So there's just lots of different options with beans, and we keep all sorts of different kinds in our pantry. We've got garbanzo beans, we've got black beans, we've got pinto beans, we've got white kidney beans. You'll see that we do a lot of shopping at Trader Joe's. For those of you that live near one, they're really great. But also I do a lot of shopping at Whole Foods, but only for certain things. This like 365 everyday value, I'm not getting paid by them to sponsor this, but this is their store brand, and so they have a lot of like organic, pantry staples like olive oil, sauces, and stuff that are actually really competitively priced with other stores. So that's like one of the few things that I buy from them. Okay, so and then here we've got lots of different kinds of tomatoes. Tomatoes are wonderful, and they're often not in season, so I only buy them fresh when I'm eating them fresh in salads during season. The rest of the time I really just buy them canned, and I get them in a variety of canned varieties, like crushed with tomatoes, fire roasted, diced, whatever, because they form the foundation of a lot of things. And if you have a couple of canned tomatoes at home, it means you're never far from making a really simple tomato sauce, which can be an accompaniment for more than just pasta. You can use it, in bakes, over proteins, all those things. And then tomatoes are really great in soups. I feel like, just about every soup could benefit from a can of tomatoes. So definitely keep canned tomatoes. If you ever make vegetable soup, chilies, tortilla soup, canned tomatoes. So down below here, I've got a couple more things, a couple more cans. So I try not to buy too many canned vegetables, because actually frozen vegetables are better, they're fresher. So if you have the choice between buying them canned or frozen and they're about the same price, I highly recommend getting them frozen, because most of them are flash frozen right after they've been picked, which means they're just fresher and have a lot more of their nutrients and aren't stuck in a metallic can. But some of the things that I do buy canned that you don't really get frozen or see frozen too much are like artichoke hearts, olives and such. These are great Mediterranean flavors. And then I keep a lot of coconut milk, because I make a lot of curries, and I just like using this particular fat in a lot of my cooking. And so I get them in smaller cans when I only need just like a cup, and then these cans for like when I need 2 cups. So those are the bulk of the cans. There's some stuff up here. This is really more of like redundant stuff like peanut butter and jelly and so forth that we eat a lot of, and I have some extras of. I know that lots of folks will see a sale and want to buy like 20 cans of something. My recommendation for you is buy an extra if it's something like you use through once a month. Buying maybe 2 or 3 extra if it's something you use through much more frequently. Otherwise, you just look like a hoarder and things just pile up, and if it's something that you're really not going to use and you're buying it just because it's on sale, you're just going to end up with a lot of stuff. So don't do that. So the stocks and the broths and whatever you want to call them, these to me are just really important to cooking. I use them a lot. I use them for the bases of my soups, of course. I use them, when I ever make a noodle soup, and those are the things that I make all the time. I sometimes, will poach, which just means kind of like lightly simmer like a fish or something in a stock. And I can easily turn a stock into So stocks and broths, whatever you want to call them, are really important to cooking. I use them for a lot of my soups, clearly, but I also use them just to simmer proteins in. I'll simmer fish in it, I'll simmer chicken in it, and you can throw some vegetables in, and all of a sudden that stock, this, whatever store-bought stock, then takes on the flavors of whatever you put into it, and the nutrients. And so you have something that becomes more flavorful. These are just really great bases for a lot of different things. To add some tomatoes to add some curry paste to add some fish sauce to, and just taking what's been pre-made and adding a little bit of something else into it will make something really tasty and fantastic. So some chefs will say you have to make your own broth. I don't think that's true. I sometimes do make my own stock, but I often do not, and that's totally okay. And if you ever have wondered why sometimes it's called stock and sometimes it's called broth, I think professionally, or on all this packaging, I don't know if they use it correctly, stock technically means it was made with bones, and broth means that it was not made with bones. So that is just a little bit of a fun fact for you. Okay. So in this little corner here, this is my, like the whole crap, I don't know what's happening for dinner, because it happens to all of us. So I've got a couple of canned soups here that I keep. Some Annie's, some box mac and cheese, which is, a must-have. And then cans of fish. So if all else fails, I know that I can mix together a tuna salad with a can of tuna, and a box of Annie's. Okay, so these are for your emergency nights when you're like really cannot do anything in the kitchen. And then we keep these little microwave Indian dinners. Mainly we use these for camping. We rarely ever have to rely on these, but these are here. And then there's just some other random grains here that don't quite fit in our grain cupboard that I showed you in the first segment, that I don't use as frequently, which is why I have them here. So I really try to keep the things that I use most frequently within arm's reach in my kitchen, except for these cans here, just because we don't have a really good organization system right now to fit them. Okay, so that's the end of this segment on the visit into my pantry closet.